Welcome to the White Lotus recap, Season 1 and 2. The luxurious hotel bends backwards to cater to the rich clientele. Through themes of privilege, power and lust, we meet new guests each season. Depicted by golden beaches, the first branch is set in Maui. Armand, the hotel manager, greets the new arriving vacationers. Shane and Rachel, newlyweds on their honeymoon. Tanya is a heiress trying to find serenity and calm after her mother's death. The Mossbuckers. Nicole is the tech CFO and Mark is the house husband. Their children. Quinn is socially awkward and loves his alone time. Olivia, a college student that brought her friend Paula along. As the group settle in, the Pattons realize that they have been placed in the wrong suite. They are meant to be in the pineapple suite. Rachel wants to have fun this vacation and overlook this mistake. But once Shane finds out that the hotel double booked the pineapple suite, he stops at nothing to ruin Armand's career, phoning his mother Kitty to help. As a freelance journalist, Rachel has finally gotten a job opportunity. Shane shoots this down, as she has just married into a wealthy family. When Kitty arrives at the resort to help resolve their situation, she makes Rachel have second thoughts about marrying into the family, because she doesn't want to be a trophy wife. Not without faults of his own, Armand's stress gets the best of him. When he finds a bag of medication, he starts to take pills to cope and break his years of sobriety. He uses his managerial position to convince Dylan into intercourse. At this time, Shane walks in on them. Tanya meets Belinda, the spa manager, who helps her procure some spa treatments. She also offers the idea of a business proposition. She takes the time out to spread her mother's ashes and try to move on from her death. Once Tanya meets Greg, a sport fisherman, they fall in love. She cancels the business idea and gives Belinda a wad of cash to start the business of her own, leaving the resort to stay with Greg. Meanwhile, the Mossbuckers have fallen out of love. Paula and Olivia spend their time calling out the privileged, but one night, Olivia catches Paula sneaking out to sleep with Kai, a hotel employee. His Hawaiian ancestors have been robbed of their land. Paula gives Kai the code to their safe so he can give the money back to the Hawaiian natives. When the Mossbuckers are out on a family trip, Kai sneaks in, but Nicole returns to the room, festering from her family having little respect for her. She is ambushed by Kai. Not knowingly, Mark charges in and is beaten. As Kai quickly escapes the scene, this accidental heroism reignites the fire in their relationship. Later, Armand tells them that Kai has been arrested and their jewels have been retrieved. Knowing that Paula played a part in this heist, Olivia keeps this a secret to have more control over Paula. When Shane hears about the break-in, he prepares a knife by the bedside to protect them, but Rachel has already given up on their relationship, trying to avoid Shane, getting a facial, and booking a separate room. Discovering that the district manager is coming to fire him, he has a last hurrah, finishing up the last dinner and taking a bunch of drugs and alcohol. He decides to help Shane by defecating in his luggage. Shane gets back to his room. Weary about the intruder, he grabs for his knife, accidentally meeting Armand and killing him. The district manager arrives to assist in the situation. Exiled to the beach, Quinn meets some natives and spends his pastime partaking in paddling. As the Mossbuckers return to their life, he sneaks off to join the Hawaiian outringer canoeing, because they are the true family that accepts him. Though their marriage has died, Rachel promises that she can be happy, and they continue on. The second branch is located in Sicily, Italy. The resort manager is Valentina. Roommates from college, Ethan and Cameron booked a romantic resort for their wives. Only recently selling his company and becoming rich, Ethan and Harper are new to it all. They know almost everything about each other and have been less intimate. Conversely, Cameron and Daphne are barely honest and extremely sexually active. Other guests include the DeGrasso family, Tanya, her husband Greg, and Portia, her new assistant. Lucia is a local sex worker, and her friend Mia. They sneak into the hotel with the assistance of Dominic DeGrasso, who secretly sleeps with Lucia. This presents a challenge, as his marriage is deteriorating due to his repeated infidelities, asking for his son Albie to put in a good word, but he strays away, not wanting to get into the middle of it, revealing the underlying issue that Abby, his wife, and daughter aren't on vacation because they are upset about his recent infidelity. Dominic decides to stop seeing Lucia, and they are stranded in the hotel looking for another host. Simultaneously, Daphne wants to go to Noto, a chic and well-known area, while Cameron tries to convince Ethan to go jet skiing. As the conversation overlaps, Daphne decides to go alone, until Harper agrees to join her. Eventually, they split off. Mad that Cameron didn't want to join her, she booked the villa for the entire night. Caught off guard by this, Cameron decides to play a game of his own. After jet skiing, they drink the night away and invite Lucia and Mia, though Ethan ultimately chooses not to sleep with Mia. The next morning, they quickly clean up, and Ethan promises not to rat out Cameron under the guise of bro code. The girls take edibles, and Daphne admits that their relationship isn't perfect. She knows Cameron cheats and only caught him once, though she does too. When the girls get back, Harper finds a condom wrapper, constantly asking what had happened the previous night. She starts to get weary of the fact that Ethan probably cheated, until he comes clean that Cameron slept with a prostitute, though she still doesn't believe him at this point. Wanting the vacation to be only them as a couple, Greg forces Tanya to send Portia away. She is forced to her room. Once she gains the courage to sneak out, she meets Albie, informing him of her awkward situation and her self-absorbed boss. They go out on multiple dates and end up kissing, though Greg is rushed off for work, partially blaming Tanya because she forced him to sign a prenup and he wouldn't be working on their vacation if his future was guaranteed. Rushed off from a trip with the DeGrassos, Portia is forced to watch Tanya get a tarot card reading, and Tanya is befriended by Quentin, a rich gay man, who introduces her to his friends. And stuck to her side is Portia. She tries and fails to make plans with Albie. During these parties, she meets Jack, Quentin's nephew. Watching from a distance, Albie gives up on trying to be with Portia. He meets Lucia, who he connects with and sleeps with. The next morning, he realizes she is a sex worker, accepting to pay her and not knowing that she is involved with Dominic. He learns that she is being exploited by a pimp. Going on dates, Alicia starts harassing her in town. At the hotel, Mia is trying to make it as a musician. Inspired by Lucia to sleep with people to make a career, she agrees to bed Giuseppe, the hotel pianist. Once he can't get it up, she takes one of Lucia's drugs and gives it to him, assuming it to be Viagra. He plays a short set and immediately faints. Without a musician to serenade the guests, Mia makes appeals to Valentina multiple times, and she finally accepts for the next 2 days, because Giuseppe will be coming back soon. The DeGrassos try to have a family reunion with Lucia as the translator, but they are trailed by Alicia, and through their interjection, Lucia agrees to leave with Alicia to appease him. The group continue on to their family home, awaiting a warm welcome until they are unable to communicate and the women don't know who they are. They are chased away with some choice words. Lucia tells Albie that Alicia will let her go if she pays 50,000 euros. Knowing that this is chump change for Dominic, Albie convinces Dominic by saying that he will put in a good word for him and he transfers the money. The next day he realized he had been conned, and Alicia was a good friend of Lucia that helped her out with the scheme. Valentina tries to make advances to a co-worker, but she discovers that Isabella already has a boyfriend. Down on her luck, Mia spots her from a distance and decides to thank her. When Giuseppe gets back, he is fired and Mia takes his position. Harper aims to make Ethan's life hell, suddenly hinting at the fact that he cheated on her, making eyes at Cameron and disappearing off with him. Ethan bolted in to find the lock to their connecting rooms open. Though Harper promised that nothing happened, it starts to haunt him, that Harper cheated on him, or that Cameron is trying to steal his girl. Harper does admit that when they came out to the room, Cameron tried to kiss her, and then he raced up. He goes to the beach to try and beat up Cameron. The fight is shortly broken up. He tells Daphne that Cameron and Harper hooked up. In the long run, we never know if Cameron and Harper hooked up in secret, or if Ethan and Daphne do. It's all left up to interpretation. This mystery is what revitalizes Ethan and Harper's sexual interest, and what makes Cameron and Daphne stay together through it all. Tanya and Quentin attend the party. She spots an image of Greg and Quentin. Late at night, she wakes up to find Jack strangely fucking his uncle. Portia begins to hook up with Jack, and they take the trip out of town. Strangely, her phone is missing. He won't allow her to link up with Tanya and wants to finish the job, which is delaying Portia. Tanya figures out from a photo of Greg and Quentin that they want to kill her because if she dies, the prenup will be null and Greg will inherit all her money. She steals a gun and begins unloading it on Quentin and his friends. She struggles to make it onto the diggy, slipping and hitting her head. She ends up drowning. Portia is dropped off and advised to go to the airport, and she does that, trying to forget the vacation and her ex-boss. She runs into Albie and they exchange numbers. This is where the story ends. Make sure to subscribe, and for more, watch this.